as our economy is booming and everything, we see a kind of tourism that's being developed in various parts of the country. Sometimes without any vision, sometimes without too much perspective, but that's the way the situation is because of limited infrastructure. So Kyta began as an experiment to try and see that, can we use art to try and change perception of travelers traveling to these beautiful destinations, whether they would engage with the place in a more meaningful way, whether they would interact with the locals and actually experience the place, and maybe in a way give back a little bit of what they receive from such beautiful spaces. So with that, I'll hand over to...
It's the third year of Kyta and in the 5-year plan, and it's been great to have this new focus on beginning to build a private art collection in Kalga.
I think the artists are quite different this year. They are very hands-on. It's not such a techie kind of space, so it's nice, like people are working with their hands, like with the pottery and the plastic, and also collecting. I think Faraz collected some 800 bottles to make the sound installation.
So it's a kinetic sculpture, so it's activated by wind energy. The idea is to cover the whole space in bottles, and like the wind isn't constant in its direction over here, so at different times of the day you'll be able to hear it differently. And the location is perfect because like this is one of the entrances to the village, so people see this, some of them see it as the first thing, and for them to just chill out after their climb is also a good place. I came here and I saw like water energy being converted over here, and there was something that came naturally to use sound with the wind. And like when I lost my laptop, I knew I had just the place and the equipment and the materials available over here, and I think it's come out quite nicely.
Every village, every community, mostly a space like this normally is like a tribal village, you know what I mean? More like tribe, more like a small community. And they're always represented with these totems, with like a totem pole. I think I said the village has community, language, culture, religion, they have everything already set in. I thought if I need to add something, I cannot add anything into their culture, but I thought I can give them one totem pole. So I think I'll leave this as an insignia. Let's see if people really accept it. I think that'll be interesting to see what happens once it snows and rains and it goes to a couple of weathering process and see what remains of it. You know, so it's an evolutionary kind of artwork that will kind of remain in the village.
I make paintings and I use an unconventional medium. I work with medicine. My plan from before I got here already, I decided that I would make sure I made a painting a day. Regardless of what else I did, that had to happen. But then I settled on this one, which was sort of creating a acknowledgement or a dedication to the animals of Kalga. Because I work with the human-animal relationship dynamics, mistreatment and so on. And here is such a perfect example of the complete opposite of what I usually deal with, because the animals are so well treated and acknowledged and are seen as equal and level and important. And so I sort of am creating an ode to the animals.
I mean, I've been working with leaves essentially, and it's really cool to see how the same leaf, after it falls off a tree, will still keep changing colors and things like that. So publishing a book was something that, I don't know, got me really excited with this residency especially. So I'm essentially painting, I'm collecting things, shooting them, and then hopefully putting them all together in one book.
You have some kind of limitations here. It's not the same like in the studio, but it's a perfect thing to get creative, to have those limitations, and just like I worked with plastic, which I didn't do before. Yeah, I was coming here and I expected myself being in peace of nature and working with leaves and whatever. And then I saw those plastic bottles everywhere and I was like, they're kind of disturbing and kind of a human relic. So I decided to collect them and made a sculpture out of it.
So I'm trying to cut off completely over here and use everything around as inspiration. So most of the work I'm doing will include subject matter from the surroundings. Finally the piece is going to be, once it's installed, individually, they're more for the people around here. It's just more personal experiences on the map flags. And once it's all up, I think that'll be the artwork.
Don't need to go all the way to the top.
Five weeks is absolutely perfect amount of a time to create a video for another part of my work that is kind of on hold for a while, like music, the compositions that I create. And so, and what is the best is when you create something 3D, when you create object. I usually was very bad with documenting it, but once the video was for me kind of like the outcome, I have to have it documented now. Like, so whatever I create here, then I already have it in the other piece.
Okay.
But
you know, it's nice bringing so many different artists together, different mediums, and also different cultural backgrounds, and not having much of a framework. I think that you know, opens up the possibilities for people to kind of find the best ways to work with each other, and the best ways to spend time with each other and share information and help each other out.
before that, you always hit the plug and you think, fuck no, okay, 10 centimeters. That line is very good. Yeah.
But look, dude, I have like a drink, I have like a bedside table.
The focus of my research is post-globalization and the community about live in the periphery, about globalization world and of a post-capitalism world.
I've been learning, grasping a lot of things from the other artists and also the visiting artists. It's been an incredible experience. I've been working on a couple of new beat sketches. I'm still thinking if it's gonna have vocals and stuff.
So I wanted to give Sunset its own visual language sort of in a way. So I wanted to change the signages around. And it started off with just changing the signage, but then when we were looking at the house, I thought that the signage wouldn't match the rest of the house. So now that is completely changed, and instead of just doing the signage, I'm painting the whole house.
Yeah, it's a really good mix of people here. It's been finely balanced, the curation. We have a nice mix, and without the sort of daily responsibilities, there's no stress points, no friction. Everyone's free to mix it up, collaborate, cross-pollinate. Yeah, it's a nice family. Then Raji here with the long-term, serious, heavy-duty stuff, getting the bricks imported on horseback and going for something that's more long-lasting and give something back to the community. That's also really inspiring.
This year is to build a little pottery studio for Sunset, for our Kyta. So it's a very basic little studio facility where you can hand build with clay, and we're using terracotta clay, which we're trying to sample some local clay from the region. So we're making a small kiln with the local bricks that we get. This will fire up to 1000 degrees. You can make work which will be biscuited basically. This time we made some artwork which is more functional in terms of what we can use in the studio and the whole sunset guest house. To 1.5 to 2 feet is our workspace for the kiln. So I've tried to build a pot this much. Let's see. Yeah, the last layer of this. See, uneven.
I mean, Rashi fed us the best of the best pizza yesterday.
Pizzas like yesterday were absolutely the best pizzas we've had in Kalga ever.
So last night जो पिज़्ज़ा जो राशि जी ने जो भट्टी और जो बन बनाया बड़े बड़े शहरों में भी नहीं मिलेगा जैसे दिल्ली बॉम्बे हो गया इतना टेस्ट यहाँ की जो लकड़ी से बना हुआ पिज़्ज़ा.
If in the fashion industry putting this little town on the map, we shot for this Indian fashion magazine called Grazia. We're going to be printing 12-page fashion feature in and around Kalga, using the residences, artist pieces, and just making the most of Kalga's beauty.